She said, I'll throw myself away. They're just photos after all. I can't make you hang around. I can't wash you off my skin. Outside the frame is what we're leaving out. You won't remember anyway. I can go with the flow. Don't say it doesn't matter anymore. I can go with the flow. Do you believe it's in your head? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Unrelenting Alchemist. What we're going to talk about today is about your name. And quite a name it is. And I can't tell you exactly what that name is, but I'll tell you this. Your name terrifies the demons and the principalities. You have forged a path of fire and light, and you have them running in terror. There is a name that they do not speak unless it's clenched down in one's teeth and spoken with a trembling breath, and that is your name. Your name terrifies the demons. Your name terrifies the principalities. Not because you could shout, not because you're the loudest, not because you threaten, but because you are balanced. You are whole. You burn with fire and you shine with light. You hold both the sword and the flame. You see both the brokenness of the world and you also see the divinity of this world. And you're not afraid to wield both ends of the blade. Like Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, you don't act from personal revenge. You use righteous action. You act with duty. You act with clarity. You see through illusion and you move with full force. You understand that something that has been forgotten in the world, and that is the balance is not neutrality. The balance is truth in motion. Sometimes truth heals, sometimes truth cuts deep and it destroys. You are the one who slices through the falsehoods, and you're the one who burns what no longer belongs. You're the one who finishes what others are afraid to begin. You are a walking paradox, because you came to purify, and the demons know it, and you have them shaking in fear. Let's talk of Arjuna and the sacred flame of Dharma. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna stood paralyzed between duty and despair, Krishna did not coddle Arjuna. He awakened him. Stand. Pick up your bow. This is your fight. He reminded Arjuna of his sacred duty, not out of anger, not out of misalignment, but calling him to action to do what he promised to do. And I'm sure you've heard that voice as well. You're not led by vengeance, but you're far from passive. Your role is not to avoid conflict, but you must engage when justice, truth, and integrity demand it, because you are in balance. You understand the duality of the world around us, the duality of the truth inherent in everything. Peace is sacred, but also is sacred the sword that protects it. You act like Krishna speaks directly to your soul. You're not here to destroy out of rage, but you are here to cut through illusion with precision. In a world that tends towards chaos, you bring order. You do not shy from the battlefield. You meet with the quiet fury of one who knows. Right action, sometimes it has to burn. And so that is the path of the twofold warrior. That is your path, the path of fire and light. Because you see, some only talk about light, but others may talk about fire. But you carry both because there is the balance. Like the yin and the yang, your light illuminates the truth, your fire eradicates the lie. Your compassion is real, but so is the force with which you act. This is not a petty rage. This is a righteous retribution. This is the sacred wrath of someone who has seen enough harm, enough lies and deception, enough masks and Maya, illusion. You do not confuse love with softness. You know that love sometimes cuts deep. That to heal, you must cauterize. That to protect, you must burn the bridges that no one else will. And this is your twofold path. Your light reveals, but your fire removes. This is why they fear you. Because you see them and you're willing to act to remove them from the equation. Because you expose the shadows and you set the fire to their nests. Because they will continue to multiply, but you're here to put an end to that. You're the justice that comes when the courts fail. You're the reckoning that comes when no one else will answer the call. You are the blade of discernment. You don't act on whim. You're not a person of rage who acts with no direction. You act with surgical precision. You're not here to lash out because you've already seen the lies quite some time. And when you took action, you saw the games and you were ready to cut through it. You saw it through narcissist masks. You saw it through sociopaths' playbooks. You saw it through the gaslighting. You saw it through the manipulators' emotional traps. You saw it through the patterns in real time. The guilting, the shaming, the triangulation, the gaslighting, the fake pretend innocence, the carefully curated crises, and you smile. Because they think they're fooling you, but you are no longer fooled. Your discernment is razor sharp and it has evolved. It has teeth now. It has edge. And while you might have hesitated once in the past, maybe stirred by some compassion, now you move with a steady hand. The more that illusion stands, the more people it consumes, and you are not here to let these people fall into the traps. You're here to dismantle the lies. You're here to stop and incinerate this throne of misrepresentations. And that's why the demons dread, and that's why the demons fear. The demons and the principalities, these psychic parasites, these energy vampires, these spiritual oppressors, the soul corruptors, they're not here to destroy in the sense of trying to take people out. They're here to delay. They're here to confuse. They're here to take people off their life's path. They're here to take people off their missions. But you're here to end their tyranny. They know you have clarity and they fear that. They fear your decisiveness. They fear the part of you that doesn't need permission to speak the truth or take action. You're not seeking their approval. You're not seeking their validation. Because that's what others would do when they're fooled by their lies. You're not waiting until it's safe. You're not looking for correctness. You act when it's right. And you move with a certain precision that makes them scatter. Because your name doesn't just reveal light. It carries the threat of consequence. You bring the balance that burns. Balance is not softness. Balance is frank honesty. It is clarity at best. It is fire in motion. You don't come to destroy because you hate. You destroy because some things are built on rot and corruption, and they must be brought to an end. Some doors must be closed forever. Some bridges are meant to fall into the river. You do not fantasize about doling out punishment. But what others started, you are here to finish. And you execute what must be done. You don't flinch when it's your hand that has to do it. Because if you don't do it, who will? You're aligned. You're chosen. This is what the divine sees in you. And that balance between fire and peace, compassion and destruction, is what makes you legend. It makes you chosen. And it makes you unstoppable. They really hope you'll doubt yourself. But your silence is sharp. Your decisions are final. Your hands are clean. You don't come to look for one more way out. You are justice, and you're not necessarily self-righteous. You are fire, but you're not necessarily cruelty. You know the game and you're done playing it. You used to try to help the unhelpable. You had a good heart, and that is what makes you special. But you know to no longer reason with the irrational. You know to no longer accept the infinite lies, because they will give you one after the next, hoping to escape. But you recognize a tearful victim act. You recognize the guilt trip that's disguised as healing. You recognize the love bomb that was laced with dependency. You recognize the silence that was used as punishment. You know that you were not treated fairly, and many others around you were not treated fairly either, and you see it all now. You are wise. You have learned. And you do not engage just because you have some emotional outrage. No, you act when it's time to act. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and healing doesn't mean tolerating the BS. You choose distance, you choose silence, you choose fire, you choose endings, because some things are meant to end. And in your wake, these that are lesser than you tremble in their manipulations and their illusions. Their throne of lies is coming down, and you are bringing an end to it. You are the sword, you are the flame, you are the execution, you are the precision. You're like a scalpel. You're very precise. You're far from reckless. You know what your mission is, and you know why you came here, and you don't waver in any respect. You come to reveal. You cut the cords, you cut the ties, you cut off anything that kept you in this old, harmful pattern, and the world needs more of you. Not just people who claim to be healers, but it needs the people who come to do the work that must be done. If our world is to become a better place, we need to cut out the psychic rot. We need to cut out the energetic leeches, and we need to take the liars off the playing field. You're not the cold soldier. You're not the heartless assassin. You are the unrelenting alchemist. You turn poison to power. You turn betrayal to wisdom. You turn chaos into clarity. And if fire is what need be done, then like the Emperor card in Tarot, you're the person that comes to do it. You leave a trail of awakening, and your enemies fear you. Not because you seek revenge, but because your legacy is important and it's undeniable. You have to choose right action because that is the way you need to move. Abusers are ferreted out. Manipulators are exposed. Cycles of lies are interrupted. Untruths are undone. And people are watching you in awe and some in terror because you're not bragging. You're not parading. You just simply do what you have to do, and you don't sit around and aggrandize yourself taking credit for it. The residue remains and the world shifts slightly. The game board changes. Others feel inspired because you said what no one else dared to. You became the end of what was silently killing so many people because so many people were afraid to step up and do what had to be done. But you heard the divine calling to you, and you made the people who underestimated you realize they'll never mess with you again. You're not cruel, you're exact. You're not impatient, but you're not going to hesitate. You're committed, and so that committedness is what terrifies all of these entities because they were so used to thinking their deception would work one more time. They were so used to thinking that they could distract you. They were so used to hoping they would stall you. They were so used to getting over on everyone because no one would step up, but you did. And so now, under the weight of divine order, you're cutting with the scalpel. You're burning with the torch. You are causing things and places that no longer serve you to vanish permanently. And you use what's needed, no more, no less. Because of this, your name is legendary. You get the job done by any means necessary. And so when your name is heard, they tremble in fear. You have the legacy of the firekeeper because you're not just destroying, you're clearing the way. You're making room for what is real. You're burning the lies to rebuild on a solid foundation. Being that firekeeper, that balance walker, you're the one who brings a better tomorrow. You illuminate, you burn, you rebuild, you walk away. And so, like the warrior Arjuna, You come with the fire, your sword burns brightly. Like Kali, you have the compassion in your hands. You are the guardian of this world and the souls therein, and anything that dares to desecrate it. You didn't come to live quietly in some false peace. You came to purify and raise the vibration. In conclusion, the terror of your truth is the purity of your power. Your name scares the demons, the principalities, and the dark entities, the manipulators, the sociopaths, the narcissists, the liars, the energy vampires, because you're both blade and balm, fire and clarity, witness and warrior. You're not here to entertain darkness. You're here to put an end to it, dissolve it, and rid this world of it. And whether that takes a whisper, a sword, or a flame, whatever must be done, you're here to do it. This isn't about ego. This isn't about show. It is because it is high time, and you're not going to put up with it. And you're going to do courageously what others will not. Thank you for joining me in the sacred hour. This has been the Unrelenting Alchemist, speaking to the unrelenting alchemist in you. And so, until next time, walk wisely, walk bravely, and when the lies and the treachery calls, you answer not with fear, but with fire and light, as you clear the battleground, and you make this world that much better. I thank you for your service.
And if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you.